Welcome to I Said What I Said. I'm Brad Wakai. That's Tyson Gentry. We're reacting to the NFL Week 3 prime time games that took place on Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football. And so Tyson and I are doing things a little bit differently this year for the NFL season and for the college football season, I should say, as well. So we're going to react as often as we can to the slate that takes place on Sunday so we can get our full, honest, raw reaction to everything that happened in the Sunday window. And then we're going to take a little bit of time and then come back to react to the Monday night and the Sunday night game to give you our idea. Primetime games, standalone stuff, a lot of things that come out of that. And so that's what we're going to be doing here. And I think the biggest storyline coming out of this slate, Tyson, is the Lions went into Baltimore and upset the Ravens as pretty substantial underdogs when not a lot of people thought the Lions were going to go on the road and win this game. And they won 38-30 and just an absolute barn burner. I think there's a lot of things to unpack from this, but what was your main takeaway? What stood out to you in this?
Jared Goff's pretty good. And I think that is so, we've been hesitant to say it sometimes, but a lot of people are like, well, it's Ben Johnson and the weapons and he can't play outside and all this stuff. And he balled yesterday, and this Ravens defense is not very good. And I think that's a pretty massive red flag here. Before the season, it was you're reading stuff, and the Baltimore Ravens have the best roster in the NFL, and they could go undefeated and blah, 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 blah. And they're going to walk away with the North, and outside of the undefeated thing, that stuff might still be true, but there's a lot of stuff in this defense that you're looking at. And if you're Zach Orr, the seat's not hot by any means, but I think there's some questions to answer. Can't stop the run. The Lions are going to run it down everybody's throat, but David Montgomery's going 75, the biggest play of the game is Nate Wiggins, your first-round pick, breaking up a pass on Isaac Tesla, third-round pick. That's where the fist pumps are coming in and stuff from that defense. I think that's a tough place to be. But my main take, the Lions looked more like the Lions. They're running trick plays. They're doing all this stuff that everyone said was going to go away when Ben Johnson left, and then how'd they seal the game? In Dan Campbell fashion, baby.
And that's my biggest takeaway here. I do want to point out Matabike was out, so that's a huge loss.
Yes, it's massive. But week
6 yards of carry,
40 points. It's guys are scoring points on this Ravens defense, whether he's in there or not.
That's the concern. And Kyle Hamilton, amazing. Roquan Smith, amazing. You got these guys, man. You can't be letting somebody run for 6 yards of carry on you, and David Montgomery for 12.6 and 2 touchdowns. Both the running backs had 2 touchdowns, man. I mean, it was like a track meet for these guys. So I'm with you there. What stood out to me, we've been on the Dan Campbell thing for a long time, saying he's a really good head coach. And people are like, well, the kneecaps thing, he's kind of a meathead. And well, actually, no, it's Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson, and they're gone. This Lions team, yes, it didn't look great in week 1. This team now looks like nothing's ever happened. Yes, the defense is got ripped up by the Ravens in this one, and we'll figure it out. But this offense looks back to normal. Jared Goff just went on the road, was incredible. This offensive line didn't give up a sack, broke up the Ravens' streak of having a sack in 70 straight games or something like that. I mean, it was absurd. Amon-Ra St. Brown, just incredible. Again, started off slow, 7 receptions. He ends with 77 yards and a touchdown. Great hot mic moment, too.
Yeah, it was all time.
So, yeah, Dan Campbell, he's not going to stray from what he is. Everybody's like, well, I think he's going to go for it. Should he go for it? I don't know. Yeah, he's going to go for it every single time because that's who he is, and he's aggressive. And it happens. They get it. It's blouses for the Ravens.
Yeah, and it's a different thing. It's Lamar Jackson on the other sideline, and so it might say punt it. Sean Payton punts that football.
Right.
He does. There are guys in the league. And he doesn't punt. Sometimes it hurts, sometimes it doesn't. It also stood out that they kind of throttled this thing down once they realized they were able to run the ball as much as they wanted. This was setting up to also be a Jameson Williams game. They were going to throw the ball for 340 yards, I think. And so Baltimore is now 1-2. Derrick Henry's fumbled 3 games in a row, twice at very inopportune spots here to essentially lose them the chance at winning both games. I don't know if it lost them the game, so to speak. The Bills won, maybe. But what's wrong with this offense? Nothing. What's wrong with this defense? That's the problem here. They scored 40 points the first 2 weeks. They just scored 30 last night. It's late, all that stuff. Can the Ravens still win the AFC, Brett?
Yeah, they can. I don't believe they will. This defense stinks. Like, can it get better over the course of the season? Sure, but we're going to have injuries.
Yep.
Like people are going to get hurt, and I'm not putting that on anybody, but that's just playing NFL football. Like, you're going to have at least 2 or 3 like really good players go down, and then you're going to have to find guys that it's through trades or free agency. And hey, can we replace that? And oftentimes you can't. So we're starting at a baseline that's poor. Is it because of the scheme? Is it because it's early and we're still figuring things out? I'm not quite sure on that front. Like, there are enough good players that it should not look this way. I mean, to score the most points that they've scored by any team through the first 3 weeks and be 1-2 and have a losing record, first time that's ever happened, is nuts. I mean, come on. And it's because his defense is awful. Now, Tyson, I don't know if the offense should be all absolved of blame. I mean, 7 sacks, and like half of those is because Lamar Jackson's like holding the ball and patting it. Like, he's playing 7-on-7. Like, dude, come on, get rid of the football.
No, I would say that, Brad.
That's true. Why
He's
doesn't he
trying
run the ball more?
like he's Caleb Williams or something, and like, yeah, he's Lamar Jackson. You get away with it, but last night he didn't, and like we've seen him not get away with it in the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs. We've seen him not get away with it in spots against the Bills. And like it's awesome when it works, but like those are things that you'd love to see ironed out. You'd love to see Zay Flowers get the ball more. You'd love to see Isaiah Likely on the field. Like some of these formations that they're running personnel usage wise are fine, but like, if you're just going to not ever run the ball when Justice Hill's on the field, just put 5 wide. Like, we know it's coming.
I was like kind of thinking through this again, and you filled in the gap here. We've seen Lamar Jackson just not take off and run at times. It's like, dude, use one of your biggest strengths. Like, he carried the ball 7 times. He probably should have ran the ball 14 times in this one. And I know it's week 3, and it's like, okay, we want to limit some of the hits, but you can slide with your quarterback. All you had to do was just run, and instead you've taken 7 sacks. Like, so you're getting hit anyway. Instead of you just took off and run, like, use your legs. It's a strength. Like, nobody's going to sit here at this stage of your career and be like, well, he's just a running back. Like, I think we've evolved past that. At least the majority of football fans will say, yeah, Lamar Jackson can throw the football. But when everything was looking great from this offense, I said, wow, it looks like they finally figured out a way to get Zay Flowers involved every single game. Like, are they going to forget that he's on the team? And you're like, oh, they will at some point. And they completely forgot about him in this game. How do you target your best wide receiver 3 times? Like, just 3 targets. And that's all they got. Pass. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I was messing with you because Rashad Bateman was good yesterday.
Well, that's your boy. I was going to let you go on a soliloquy after that, but 2 catches for 13 yards for Zay Flowers. What are we doing here?
And Mark Andrews turns back the clock, and like you kind of waste that game. And part of that was just because of the way that the Lions were playing them on defense, which, when the draft happened and they got Brian Branch at 45, everyone was so ready to be like, well, actually, when he was at Alabama, there was all this stuff and the injury stuff, and he's not quite as explosive, and he's not the athlete, and he's too small, and blah, 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 blah. There's sometimes a reason that these dudes that are mocked in the top 10 consistently, like we're going to do this with the Caleb Downs, the Ohio State kid. Like, they're going to beat him down. It's not going to be to pick 45, but it can't take a safety there. Can't do this, can't do this. Brian Branch is a difference maker for this defense. Jack Campbell was a difference maker for this defense last night. And yeah, they allowed 30 points, and that's not great. Baltimore scoring 40 on everybody. This is, if you're a Lions fan, you're awful happy about this performance. Aiden Hutchinson was awesome again yesterday. Penny Sewell was the highest graded run blocker, in the history of Pro Football Focus. Take that for whatever you think it's worth, but like that's the truth. They have stars all over the board, and sometimes everyone is so quick to point to coaches that they think are really good leaving being a reason that a team isn't going to be quite as good. And that doesn't mean those coaches were bad. But sometimes the players you have on the team matter too.
And the head coach. And I think that's what you got with Dan Campbell. And a lot of people thought it's just smoke and mirrors. Oh, that's all the coordinators. Dan Campbell, he doesn't do anything here. He's the friggin' man's man. And these guys come ready to play, dude. What you can say about the Lions, they come ready to play every single week. Like, they were ready for the fight. And they were ready. Like, they came out, boom, 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 touchdown. Like, the Lions were not coming into Baltimore like, oh, we're playing the Ravens. Like, oh, I don't know if we can do. Like, you're like, we're going to go and kick their ass. Like, that's what they did. Like, it's just impressive. And we got to close on this. We're getting the Chiefs. Derrick Henry. I don't want to say it, But can we start bringing up the W word, the washed word, Tyson? What's happening with our guy?
I don't think you can call him washed at this point, but Father Time seems to have caught up to him in one regard, and that's ball security. Like maybe we can count that because he fumbled as many times in the first 3 weeks as he did in 2023 and 2024 combined. Whether that's an anomaly just through these first 3 weeks, or if this is maybe something bigger, we'll find out as the season goes along. But I saw that 24-yard touchdown run yesterday. I saw week 1. Like, yeah, the Browns shut him down, but I don't think he's washed. And I also still think the Ravens are going to walk to the AFC North title.
Yeah, I think you probably say at this point. I mean, they're 1-2. I don't know what the odds are, but I think it's pretty safe to say that I think the Ravens are still the best team. I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's smoke and mirrors. If you want to talk about
and
it.
That's
the Browns
it. I mean,
horrible.
Jake Browning isn't beating you.
No. If they go get Jameis, though, I mean, maybe we got to have a conversation. But
maybe Russ.
Maybe Russ. I don't know. Let's talk about this because the Chiefs, they win their first game on Sunday Night Football. First game of the season, I should say. They win on Sunday Night Football, good amount with Mahomes. But ugly game, man. 22-9. This game stunk. I mean, once again, the Chiefs' offense is anemic. They can't figure out if they want to run the football down in the red zone. They can't figure out if they're going to pass the ball down in the red zone. I mean, Tyquan Thornton turned into freaking Randy Moss in this game. It was ridiculous. And that was the only reason why there was anything worth watching. And this Giants offense just stinks once again, man.
It's so bad. And it's Russell Wilson stunk, and that's part of it. Brian Daboll is an offensive genius, all this stuff. It's like they had 3 plays. It was just, okay, we're going to throw the moon ball to neighbors, and then we're going to try to give Scatterboo the ball however we can. And he was awesome. I think that's a takeaway if you're the New York Giants. But it's approaching the levels in Kansas City. Remember when Brady had Jabbar Gaffney was his best receiver for a period of time? That's kind of how this feels a little bit. Juju Smith-Schuster looked better to me than he has in a while yesterday. And Tyquan Thornton, 2 catches at the exact same spot for 50 yards, and he had a 50-yarder against the Eagles. And maybe you can salvage something there, but this pass catching group is not very good. Noah Gray looks like the most explosive one to me. And that's the backup tight end, it's tough. They can't run the ball. But they did look a little bit more like the Kansas City Chiefs, Brad, where it was oh gosh, this team sucks, but they're also not in danger at all of losing this football game.
I know. Well, they can run the ball. I mean, Pacheco was 10 for 45, 4.5 yards a pop, yet they won't run the ball. On running Kareem Hunt. What is their obsession with Kareem Hunt? I don't get it.
I think their obsession with Kareem Hunt and your obsession with disliking their obsession of Kareem Hunt are at one point we're going to collide here. It's going to be beautiful.
I think the pass catching unit is going to get better once we get Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy back.
No doubt.
But right now, this is bad. It's just no other way to put it. I mean, you're supposed to have the Hollywood Brown game, 4 for 42. He's pretty quiet. He's supposed to be your number 1 guy. Yet Tyquan Thornton emerges. Travis Kelce, another dust up with Andy Reid. He just 4 catches for 26, no explosiveness. It's just not. And I thought Collinsworth said it well, and I know a lot of people take shots at him, but he's right. Travis Kelce can't be your number 1 guy in the year 2025. It's just not where we're at in his career. And the fact that I don't know if the Chiefs are still game playing around. I don't know if he wants more stuff around him, but if that's the consternation between the two or why they're confronting each other or what, I don't know what it is, but it's pretty clear that Travis Kelce can't be the number 1 option in a passing offense this year. Yeah,
which everyone knew. And so it's interesting to see the dynamic. And I don't think that dust up on the sideline was anything really. I mean, we're only a couple of years removed from, remember when Travis bumped into Andy and it was optically very funny to look at. I think they won the Super Bowl that year. And
we did it during the Super Bowl too.
Yeah. So I think that maybe that's just the relationship they have. Kansas City will be fine once these guys get back. But yeah, not impressive. Defense was good. How much of that was the Chiefs defense being good? And how much of that was this Giants offense just looking awful?
No, it's a lot. I mean, Russell Wilson, 160 yards, 2 picks.
Did that feel on purpose at the end of the game when he was just throwing the ball out of the back of the end zone? It was you're going to boo me? Did you see? I just threw for 450 yards. Take this.
I don't know what the hell that was, Tyson. I mean,
that last one felt on purpose, bro.
It might have been. But whether it's Dayball, whether it's Wilson, you finished the game, sure, 7 targets for Neighbors, but a lot of those were whatevers. I don't
How many
know.
is he going to catch?
2 catches for 13.
Yeah.
This guy just ripped up the secondary play. Now, the Chiefs have a much better defense than the Cowboys, but come on, like, get this guy the football. And, like, you kind of said it tongue in cheek on Dable, offensive genius. And, yeah, this guy just, I don't know. I'm just done with the Dayball thing, man. The fact that he won Coach of the Year over freaking Sirianni, I'll never get over that. Like, that was absurd. This guy freaking stinks, man. He's a dead man walking when it comes to a head coach. But he's going to try to salvage his job here because they're going to start Jaxson Dart. Rookie from Ole Miss, looked great in the preseason, but Tyson, they got to face the Chargers. That's his first test. What are you expecting here from Dart? Because kind of setting this up for the viewers first coming in. Tyson asked me coming in, he's like, well, when do you think we're going to see Jaxson Dart? And I was like, I don't think we're going to see him until later in the season. And I think you were much more like, I think we might see him earlier. Now, I could be wrong on that, but I think you kind of expected this would be the decision from the Giants kind of earlier in the season. So where are you at on whether you like this decision and what you expect from this decision?
What I thought before the season was that like this Giants team was going to suck and that Dayball was going to try to save his job. I didn't think it was going to be right before you play this Los Angeles Chargers defense. Like that is the part to me where it's like kind of head scratching. Like, yeah, I get it. But if you can talk to John Mara and you know, the people in charge of your contract situation and be like, hey, just let me get through this Chargers game with Russ and then we can go to Dart. This is throwing him to the wolves. And the flip side of this is like if he balls out, now it's wheels up and it's going to be nuts. But it does feel a little short-sighted here because this is a really tough spot. The other dude, he's coming into the game and running read options. Like that's the special packages with Jaxson Dart is you're using his legs. His legs are a part of who he is as a quarterback. Nobody's ever confused him for, Milrow coming out of the draft. Nobody was like, wow, Jaxson Dart runs a 4.2. This is going to be awesome. He hasn't thrown a pass in an NFL regular season game. Yeah, he's got snaps, but it's a different thing. And it's Minter this week. And this Chargers defense, it looks awesome. Don Henley flying around. Like, that's a tough spot to be for your first game. But I do think the offense will be a little better than it was this week. I don't think that's a high bar.
It's got to be better than what we saw this week. And I'm with you.
If it's worse, it's not on Jaxson Dart. I'll tell you that.
Right. And I think this just resets the clock on the season. I don't think it resets the clock on Dable because if it still looks bad, like he's fired, like there's just – so is the general manager. I mean, there's just no way you can – Joe Shane, there's no way that you can – continue on with Brian Dable. And you say short-sighted, and that's just like the tenure that's been Brian Dable. Like this guy is just so reactionary to everything. Like, do you remember, and I'll never forget this, when he's walking off the field and like, I forget what it was, when they couldn't get a timeout or they didn't spike it or something, and he walks up the field and they're like, oh, what's going on? He's like, oh, I didn't hear what you said. I'm just so angry right now. It's like, dude, you're the head coach of the team. Like, take a breath and take a chill pill. Like, I know you can get upset, but this guy is always like angry on the sideline, Tyson. And I don't want to speak out of turn here, but it feels like that affects his team. Like just like they're reacting to everything instead of like going in with a plan. And like whatever plan they have, when it gets knocked off course, like just a little bit, it feels like everything it all just falls down. Like the building collapses and they can't figure out what to do after that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be mad too if it was like I had Josh Allen and then the best quarterback I've had here is Daniel Jones. Like this sucks. But Indiana Jones is balling. I think there's more questions than answers with Brian Daboll still through this point in his tenure. And it's like the Bills offense looks more or less the same. And yeah, sure, he built Josh Allen, but like there's been guys here in this building that he couldn't turn into serviceable NFL quarterbacks in his system. That's concerning. Yeah, I liked last year on Hard Knocks when Malik Neighbors was in there, and he's like, he's a dog. Like, I want Malik Neighbors. That's a good thing for your head coach to have. But when they share the similar personality, like he acts like a diva wide receiver, I guess is kind of what I'm trying to say. And that's a tough spot for your head coach to be.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Tough situation. I think we're both looking at this for Jaxson Dart to debut against the Chargers and a really good defensive coordinator and Jesse Minter with really good athletes for the Los Angeles Chargers. So we'll see what happens. I'm
for
with
all
you, though,
we know, Jesse
out.
Minter game planned against Jaxson Dart at some point in the last 3 years, getting ready for Ole Miss.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to run through that if Michigan played Ole Miss. I don't think they did, but I'm sure he knows somebody who game planned against them,
They're talking. He's probably called Lane. I'm sure Kiffin's giving it all out on this kid. He's got
he loves Jaxson Dart. I don't know.
He's got Trinidad now. He's fine.
He's got a new guy. But yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I'm with you. If this thing goes well, New York may have their quarterback. It looked great in the preseason, so they're going to it week 4.
It's just this is how you ruin guys sometimes.
It could be short-sighted Giants. It's a franchise that can't get out of their own way. Maybe it turns around here. Maybe it doesn't. We will see. But that's it for reaction coming out of week 3 primetime games. Like, subscribe, and share the show on the way out. If you're watching in YouTube form, smash the like button. If you're listening in podcast form or YouTube, subscribe so don't miss a single thing we do, and then share it with a friend, with an enemy, your brother, your sister, your brother's sister, your sister's brother. I don't know, your coworker, however you want to do it. We'll be back later in the week giving out our gambling picks for college and the NFL, trying to make a little scratch this weekend. So we'll talk to you guys when we talk to you. Till then, peace.